If you go low, I'll go lower. I heard this phrase this past week and it got me wondering, what do people actually mean when they say this? Hi there, my name is Phenomenal Jennifer. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel where we unlearn, relearn, share everything around faith, family, growth, dynamism, lifestyle. And I'm very happy to be back on your screen again today. I'm just getting back from church, but this thought has been bubbling in my heart the whole week after I heard that phrase, if you go low, I would go lower. And it got me wondering, what do people actually mean when they say this? Sister to sister, sister to brother, it's not that deep. I'll give you a simple analogy. If, for example, you were trying to get a pig to become clean, and that pig refuses to be clean. We all know the nature of pigs. They always find their way back into the same death you're trying to rescue them from. Would you keep getting yourself dirty because you're trying to get a pig out of his nature? This is what a whole lot of us try to do when you're trying to prove a point to people who have made up their mind or have created walls in their hearts and have refused to embrace change or embrace learning. One thing I've come to learn in life is to choose my battles wisely. I choose my battles wisely, and then I am very intentional about my inner circle. I'm very intentional about the kind of things I get myself exposed to. It's so important that you audit your life from time to time. It's perfectly okay to outgrow people. It's perfectly okay for the Spirit of God in you to begin to say, oh, this no longer serves you in this season. For example, on my social media pages, particularly on Instagram. I love Instagram because of its videos. I'm more of a visual person. I learn more and better using videos, and I know that's a lot for a lot of people as well. And then I just feel like that app actually resonates with me, the kind of content I want to see, and how I want my contents to look like. And because of that, I tend to be more active on Instagram better than any other of my social media channels, right? And from time to time, I go back to the people I follow on Instagram. And if I'm no longer comfortable, if I feel like, this person doesn't serve me in this season, I click the unfollow button. There is no harm in doing this. There is no harm in outgrowing people or things that were serving you at a point in life because you look at it in the real sense of it in life, we're actually supposed to be constantly learning, constantly evolving, constantly becoming better versions of ourselves, and constantly growing in our knowledge of God and in our closeness to Him. So when I hear that phrase, if you go low, I go lower, I really think that this is a phrase that you actually need to think about before you actually say them. I'm going to share a very brief story about something that happened to me in my younger years and how I dealt with it and how I have come to realize that if you go low, bro, sis, I am not going to go lower. So I had this friend at the time, started off as acquaintances, of course. I was trying to run a pre-degree program that would, help me get like an actual admission into the university. This was back home in Africa, by the way, Nigeria to be precise. And amongst the first set of people I met when I got into this program was a young lady, very friendly, very jovial, love to communicate with people. There is a tendency to fall in love with this kind of people naturally. Then I was a member of a church at the time, and I found that my church had a branch where this pre-degree program was actually being run, and I invited this said person to church, and she was very happy to join church, join the service units like I was, doing in church, and we got relating. The friendship continued and we were all gaining from each other. But it got to a time that she began to get really jealous of me and began to go about telling people different things that were even untrue about me, telling people about the things that she had even given to me. And there was a time I got in contact with her sister, and the sister used one of the things that this so-called friend had given to me as something to, make mockery of me. And I began to wonder, what sort of friendship is this? What sort of friendship would you give stuffs to your friends and you go about telling the whole world that you have done things for them? I think what was even the what broke the camel's back for me was when she began to actually tell lies about me. And then I realized this friendship cannot survive. We cannot continue, right? And then I began to set boundaries. I began to set the distance between us. When she noticed that I began to set distance between us, I think I also want to mention that when I began to set the distance and I decided that I never wanted to be that close, quote and unquote, to her. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't share it to anybody. I didn't feel the need to explain myself to anybody or to tell anybody what I had decided to do. I just did what was best for me, for my sanity, for my spirit and my soul at the time, you know. And then when she had noticed that I was beginning to, be distant from her, guess what? She started telling everybody. She started calling people that we had in common that we knew, telling them that, oh, I was cutting her away for no reason. I was avoiding her. I didn't want to see her. I didn't want to talk to her. But she would show up at my house. Then we were living separately but quite close. And I wouldn't just come out. I would tell my roommate to say, oh, I'm busy. I can't come out at this time, and all of that. And then she got so angry about it, or so overly reactive about it. I think that's the word. And then she had to even go approach my dad. It was when she went to approach my dad to say, oh, that she doesn't know what she has done to me, that I cut her off, and all of that, that I actually had to open up to my dad about what she has been doing. It wasn't one person, it wasn't two people, it wasn't three people. She told a lot of negative things about me. And these people, out of their pureness of heart, will approach me and say, why would your friend be saying things like this about you? This are what she has said about you, you know. And then because she had even gone the extra mile to go telling her sister what and what has transpired between us in terms of what she had given to me as gifts, and the sister began to use that to make jest of me, in an indirect manner. That was how I knew that we couldn't continue with the friendship anymore. And it saved me a lot of headache. That is what setting boundaries will do for you. It will help you realign your focus. It's very okay to forgive people and say, I forgive you from the depth of my heart, but I don't just want to have you in my inner circle or in my space anymore. It's absolutely fine, because in life we are all on different journeys, and alignment is very important as to how quick and how fast you get to your destination. I hope this video has been very impactful and insightful. If it has, please leave us a like. If it has resonated with you as well, leave us a comment, and do not forget to share to people who this video would be beneficial to. And also, do not forget to subscribe, hit the subscription button, and you can also turn on the notification bell so that whenever we drop a video, you would be notified. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. I would see you guys in my next one. Bye for now.